Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, as we watch for that flag to come the greatest nation on God's great earth, we call to the microphone a very beautiful young lady to sing our national anthem tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mia Walker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful job, Mia. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this time we would like to introduce to you our visiting team from Spanish.
Oh, we were up.
It's like putting it on safe. Is it on safe? Is it not on safe?
Well, everyone, we'd like to welcome you to Sting TV. We're here at Wasatch High School in Heber City, Utah, in the Nest. This is Wasatch Wasp basketball. The boys hosting tonight the Spanish Fort Dons. And Brent Martindale here with Corey Lang, the director of Sting TV, and Ken Purdy. Ken, we got to talk a little bit before this game. If you didn't have a chance, hopefully you just heard that national anthem sung by Mia Walker. And
that was
absolutely fabulous.
The hair on the back of my neck was standing up. That was fantastic.
And now we're going to see the video for the boys' intro.
And I think we're going to give props. Corey's son put this together for them. This is so professional.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your all, the Wasatch High School Wasp starting lineup. First of all, would you please welcome Number 2, Connor Hendrickson. A guard. Number 4, Brady Peary. A 6'3" guard.
I'll intro you.
Number 5, Sid Sam Lynn.
All right, we are
Guard.
also tonight before the game. We want to talk about the girls' game. A huge win for the Wasatch Wasps. And tonight, 71 to 39. No,
Good memory.
anyway, something like that. A huge win for the Wasps. We have with us on the air right now Audrey Hull, the head coach for the girls. Audrey, congratulations on the game tonight. And thank you for joining us here before the boys' game.
42.
42. All right, 42. You won by 29. That's all I remember. So, Audrey, congratulations.
Thank
we
you.
have to ask you really quickly, and maybe we can talk to you a little bit later also.
Sure.
How are the girls feeling after that type of win? You guys obviously went to a lot of work.
Well, we've been struggling the past couple of games, and so I knew what we're capable of, and they came and brought it. I mean, we had Cicely Clark out this game, and so we challenged the seniors, like, we need you to step up. And wow, they stepped up in a big way this game.
They were fabulous.
And Coach Hull, I think some of your underclassmen stepped up and handled the ball. You know, Katie Perry handles the ball very well.
Yeah, she's my backup point guard.
Man,
right now.
she was solid, and I did not know that. So you found some. You definitely added some pieces, and maybe not by design, that's going to help you in the long run, right?
Correct.
Getting some of those girls some time in there.
Correct, the future of our program,
Yeah.
getting them some time in. And AJ, she hasn't seen a ton of varsity time, and she came in and played real
Yeah, I thought
solid
so too.
for us.
You know, Philly seemed like she had a little killer instinct tonight. Compared, you know, I felt like she got a little frustrated last game, playing against a really good player, right? And she's a
Right.
freshman, but she brought it today, and she had a lot of fire, which it helped you guys.
I haven't seen the stats, but I would say her turnover ratio was way down. I don't think we turned the ball over near as much.
No.
But of course, like Springville's a really high pressure man
Right,
to man, so
right.
they're going to force you into some more
Sure.
turnovers. But
Well, Coach Hull, we're going to get a chance to talk to you maybe
Sure.
at halftime. We're in between quarters 1 and 2.
Yes.
And we appreciate you and congratulations again
Oh, thank
for
you.
the big win. We will talk with Audrey Hull here in just a little bit.
Oh,
And
thank
we
you.
had a little thank you.
Fantastic,
let's
Coach.
go Wasps.
I really think Wasatch girls outcoached Spanish Brook girls tonight. I think they really got outcoached. So you did a great job,
Oh, thanks.
Audrey.
I think I had the better players.
You did, but you made some adjustments and we noticed. You did fantastic.
Thank you.
So, all right, well, here we go, the start of the boys' game, and a quick start just like the girls' game
So good.
right off the bat, and that is a basket for Wasatch right off by Connor Hendrickson. Hendrickson right now 10 points a game and 6 rebounds a game. Spanish Fork, well, there's a steal. Here's once again, this time it's Sam Lind coming down. He's going to get the pass off to Hendrickson. Hendrickson does a fake. Goes around, shoots. No good. Gets his own offensive board. And no good. Gets another offensive board. This time is fouled. And immediately, Wasatch showing their, sorry. Yeah, Wasatch showing absolutely no fear. Wasatch on a bit of a dry spell here. One of the, in my opinion, in my years here, 0-9. They are on a 9-game losing streak. And I don't know if I've ever seen that here at Wasatch for boys or girls in basketball. Corey?
I went back through the record books, clear back as far as Deseret News would go.
Okay.
And Max Preps. Deseret News had further records. And we've never had a worse stretch in boys basketball at Wasatch.
And that's a lot of good teams. They played some really tough teams.
Yeah, and a lot of that we were 2A, 3A for a lot of years.
Yes.
And so
yes.
the last few years, the last 10 years, we've moved up a couple classifications and faced those, but
Hey, gents, we got called out a little bit. Coach Hull was like, she's got listeners going, hey, the announcer's like, you got to work on this and work on that. And so remember, we critique the performance, not the performers. But that's kind of our job, right? And great basketball, Coach Hull.
Well, and right now, this has been the Connor Hendrickson show. Both buckets.
Unlike last game, Connor was pretty quiet last game.
Soft jumper, no good. That was a good look by Reese Dent right at the top of the key.
I like to see Ethan Moore get the start. I thought Ethan played really solid last game. Hope he can keep that up.
Sam Lynn's going to be called for his first personal foul. Spanish Fork has already been called for 2 fouls quickly here in the first couple of minutes of this game. Spanish Fork with their, that shot is good.
Not quite sure what we're playing defensively, Corey, but Reese Dent lost track of his man, and that's where that bucket came from.
That is Aaron Dunn. 6'8" is how he's listed.
Nice job, Reese.
Reese is going to have, and no call on that.
And I think that was all right. And then we get Miles Brown down here. 4 feet away from, 6 feet away from the basket.
Boy, the Wasatch coaches are just begging for what happened.
Coach Ballstead's going, wait a minute, you got to tell me how that
There's
works.
the replay. Dent going in. Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't think and that shot up no good, but there's, once again, Dunn. He's going to get called for the...
Yeah, and then Miles get a little push in the back. That was kind of obvious, but...
Aaron Dunn, again, listed at 6'8", and he does score 11 points a game. Spanish Fork Dunn's at 3-12 overall, and 1-2 in region play so far.
Ethan Beckstead, number 22 for Spanish Fork, had a clear look at the basket, and lack of a better word, he shot a brick. So I would assume Coach Ballstead's going to keep letting him shoot. We just got to get the rebound and
Dunn
get that
hits
transition.
the second, and that'll be Dunn's second, actually third point of the night. There's a 3-point attempt by Dent, no good.
Boy, Rick.
Offensive board. Here's another 3-pointer attempt. Good.
Boy, and that's a part of the game that I've not seen from Miles Brown, and he is making me a liar because he hit 3 or 4 last week and starts off with 1 here. I was going to say, I'd like to see Reese be a little more confident in that shot. He can shoot that ball.
And he can have it all night long tonight because if that defense, little bigger size, is going to step off 3 or 4 feet
There's
into
a drive
the paint.
and basket that time by Jackson Reese.
Good no call.
Reese is the leading scorer, 12 points a game for Spanish Fork.
Yeah,
there's a foul.
Beckstead's going to get that little hard down there. It's something we didn't see last week. They let him play a little bit in the paint, and they're going to set the tone. Officials going to set the tone early.
That foul will be charged to Ethan Beckstead of Spanish Fork.
Lewis Hoffman checks in.
Hoffman's going to replace.
Sorry, Coach. He's the Energizer Bunny, and they go right to him. Kicks it back out.
Hoffman replaces Miles Brown. Dent going to drive, and he will get fouled.
I like Reese being aggressive, continue to be aggressive and take it to the ball. With the baseline there, he's a good enough athlete that he can make something happen on the other side.
We're only less than 3 minutes into the game. There's already been 6 fouls called.
Boy, I don't know where Ethan was going with that. Oh, nice job, Connor.
Steal by Connor Hendrickson. You're looking at a Wasatch team somewhat young. Only a couple of seniors here and there. Hoffman spins, kicks it back out. Shot clock down to 20. The shot 3-point by Sam Lynn, no good.
Great
but there's
rebound.
an offensive board once again.
Nice job.
Connor Hendrickson.
I'd like to see him go back to Lewis Hoffman. They went to Lewis, he kicked it back out, and then he got deeper in. He got right on the block and got the big Spanish Fork kid on his hind end. I'd like to see him go back down to him.
There's a drive by Dent, no call. So Wasatch last Friday night played Springville and started off well. And once again, another strong start.
Yeah,
Would you say so far?
absolutely.
We're only 3 or 4 minutes into the game, but
You know, and this is the team's kind of an enigma. A different guy will step up. I mean, Connor he couldn't have been more quiet last game, and he's turned up his game today. And I really think Wasatch, these kids are really they're not very selfish. So they're giving up shots that were, such as Reese. I think he was hesitant to shoot that 3 last time because he wanted to make an extra pass, which
Spanish Fork takes over down 5-9 here early going in the first quarter. Dunn's going to drive. Has Dent on him. Dunn, beautiful.
Yeah.
Little soft baby hook.
Yeah, if
Aaron
Dent's going to
Dunn.
guard him, he's got to go to the post like that and make him pay inside.
Brent said it right. He is a very soft touch. Nice
Hoffman
kick.
kicks it out to Hendrickson. Hendrickson drives, gets it back to Hoffman. No good. Once again,
Yeah, Connor.
Hendrickson. They're going to call Dent, I guess, for the travel.
Tough. I like this. I like our being aggressive there on the offensive boards.
Springville coming down quickly. Wow, I'm not sure.
I guess since he didn't
Guess
continue.
he caught it.
Yeah.
Once again, as we mentioned, these teams. Oh, there's a big offensive board that time.
A great follow-up.
Yeah. Yeah. Lewis.
Kimball Johnson.
Early in the day, Lewis tends to get himself in foul trouble, so we don't want to condone it, but you kind of set the tone in the paint early that nothing's going to be easy. Lewis has got that toughness.
Kimball Johnson at the line hits his first free throw, and that's his first point of the night.
And Spanish Fork made this a 1-point game. They crawled right back in, a chance to tie it up right here, Brent.
Even more checked out for Wasatch. Will Santiago in along with Sam Lind and Connor Hendrickson as the guards. Lewis Hoffman battling down below.
Yeah, he's got a mismatch
against
there.
Johnson.
He sees Dunn and kicks it back out.
Little soft jumper by Lind in and out.
That's a good look.
Quickly down the court.
Yeah, we got to move our feet. There's way too much reaching by Wasatch there. We've got to get in front, stop the ball.
Beautifully done by Spanish Fork with the emphasis. Aaron Dunn able to basically slam that, flush that in. But
again, soft touch, Brent. Like you mentioned it before. He did for a big man. He had very soft touch. Nice touch.
Yeah,
free throw too.
Impressive.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a little surprised. He's already tonight with 8. He averages 11.
Interesting.
There's Dent driving. This time no good. Almost looked like it was blocked.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. He just go up a little bit stronger, but nothing wrong with that drive by Reese. He usually gonna get the foul. Boy, he is feeling
Dunn
it
with
tonight.
a 3-pointer.
Little heat check.
Dunn looks
That's
like
a
he
lot
has
longer
the
than
green
the
light.
2-footer one that he just shot.
Yeah.
But I like Wasatch attacking the paint and attacking that post. If they can get him in foul trouble and on the bench, that totally changes the game. And so attack it.
Nice job, Reese.
3-point, no good.
Very good shot. That one's going to fall for him. When he's confident, he's got a really pretty shot.
And he's giving him the space.
Yeah.
Because he's playing. He has to respect the drive.
And there's a little bit. We're going inside, Corey, and we're kicking it back outside, which I like to see.
3-point attempt, no good. Spanish Fork on a 6-0 run at the moment. And that shot is good.
Just going to mention,
David Solorzano.
they've shot the ball very quickly coming down last two trips, and then we give it right back to them on just 2 players going after the ball.
It's now an 8-0 run for Spanish Fork.
I like that match. You got Sam posting up a smaller.
Too late.
But it's way too long. You can't spend 5 seconds staring at it.
Spanish Fork, and they're going to miss the layup, but they're going to end up with the rebound, so they get a new shot clock.
You have got to find your man and box.
That's Kobe Healy. And it looks like as the point guard, another three-point attempt. Spanish Fork no good. Wasatch comes down with it.
Well, it seems like if it doesn't go to Dunn, it's not a very high percentage shot for Spanish Fork. And their coach is ecstatic, and he should be. They're up early.
And a couple missed defensive assignments. Even that last shot, it didn't go in.
Right.
But Sam and Lewis got they were miscommunicated on who was taking who, and Sam left him open in the corner. You can't make those mistakes.
You're giving them too many chances, right?
Well, we have a 30-second timeout here. We want to mention again, if you hadn't heard earlier, the girls earlier tonight scored a huge win over Spanish Fork, 71-42, and that will halt their losing streak at one game, but they were previously 2-4 the last 6 games. So a big win for the girls tonight earlier.
And as a good coach does, she gave a lot of credit. Coach Hull gave a lot of credit to the girls and how they played. But man, Corey mentioned it.
She's so humble. She'll deflect.
So many sets there off that 2-3 zone they saw that just kind of picked them apart tonight.
I told her good job, and she said I didn't make any baskets.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think she'll sleep better tonight.
Yes, she will.
I hope so.
She was excited.
Well, and it's not.
Nice job,
it's like
Lewis.
you said. Oh, and there's a late call.
Yeah, that's a great take.
Yep.
You got to attack the rim, attack the rim, attack the rim.
Connor Hendrickson driving. He has 6 points tonight, or 6 of the 9 points.
That was a
for Wasatch.
dime pass by Lewis Hoffman. That was pretty.
And a great cut by Connor.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, both. Textbook, right?
Hendrickson hits the first.
And Miles had a great shot. He was hot the other night, hit 4 threes. He's already hit one here.
Yeah.
I would love to see him, you put him back in the game, draw something up.
Right.
Give him a play. Give him a look. Get a shooter hot.
Especially Corey with Lewis Hoffman in there. He's such a dynamic rebounder. You're going to get second chances.
He's going to command attention.
Yeah.
Collapse it. Hit your play on the outside.
There's a drive on the baseline. No call.
Pretty
that
low
drive by Jackson Reese.
I don't know what the stats are, but shooting percentages are low and your back is to the basket.
Very much so.
Less than a minute left here in the first quarter, and there's already Spanish Fork 1 foul away from. There's a drive. That time, pass and go. Miles Brown. 45 seconds left. Quickly, Spanish Fork comes down. 12-14. That's Wasatch's first basket. Basket.
Oh.
Boy, it looked like Brown had some position.
Yeah, you would be 100% correct. And, when he went around his man, Brent, he didn't go through the guy.
Yeah.
Man, that was
Gabe Ashworth for Spanish Fork that definitely had just a little better position.
And I would say the official calling it from behind is very low percentage call too. He didn't have a good look at the front.
They got a fresh.
Yeah, he did.
They got a fresh shot clock, which I'm not sure. Anyway. So that'll be a foul charge to Wasatch.
And if I'm Spanish
Fork,
Fork,
Brady Peary.
I'm not looking for anything real quick. So
you got the 2-point lead on the road in the first, and there's no more shot clock. You got 34 seconds to burn the clock. Take the last shot. Why even give them a possession?
Right.
Worst case scenario, you dribble it out and you're up 2 at the end of the first.
Basket made by Aiden Solorzano of the Dons. That'll be his third point here of this first quarter. 34 seconds left. There won't be a shot clock, but 34 seconds is plenty of time.
That's a lot of time
for Wasatch to.
Spanish Fork coach made some substitutions, keep his big dogs out of foul trouble.
Hits the second.
So you're going to get a mismatch here.
Wasatch down 12-16 after leading at one point 9-3. It has since been a 13-3 run here to end the first quarter. Down to 20 seconds.
Nice
Get the ball
pass.
down to Lewis Hoffman. It's knocked out of his hands, and it's going to stay with Wasatch.
That's a great pass by Brady.
It's the right idea. Brady's cutting baseline, takes the defense with him. Lewis was stepping up.
And I didn't see that early on from Brady. That's a maturity there. Again, Lewis Hoffman plays a little bit like Ashley Gardner. He gets going so fast.
This is where Brady.
Oh yeah. He just kind of lost his footing there.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Brady excels at taking it to the rim. His game is so.
He's a strong kid.
A strong drive and finisher at the rim. I'm glad to see that was the result coming in, but unfortunately, sometimes that happens.
Down to 5 seconds. The shot, 3-point play, no good. 3-point shot, no good. Will's got to get it up for that to possibly work, and it doesn't. So, at the end of the first quarter, Spanish Fork goes on a 13-3 run to take the lead 16-12.
I want to go back to that 3-point. That would have hurt had that went in.
Oh. Yeah, that would have. That looked, I agree. That was a pretty good look.
That would have been a 16-3 swing, and then the last.
That would have hurt us. So as great as we looked early on, we've lost a little bit of that. We don't have Connor going to the basket. You know what I mean? We're not being aggressive. So we talk a lot about coming down and running the offense, making some passes. But man, with that lane's there, you got to go. You got to get it.
Well, and it's there tonight.
Yeah.
Watching the defense of Spanish is playing. The drive, attacking that rim is there all night long. You can get a step. So if the guys are told that and given that green light.
And gentlemen, Dunn was on the bench for most of that.
Yeah, Dunn finished. Yeah.
So there's nobody in the paint to contest that. And you're going to see that, Dunn's going to come back out again.
They do have some other height when Dunn wasn't in there with Johnson. Kimball Johnson, he's listed at 6, but not the same, Or the confidence. Boy, Dunn just he is smooth and he is confident, and it's kind of like the game just has to come to him. Spanish Fork with the first possession of the second quarter, up by 4 over Wasatch.
Great back cut. Holy cow, that was open.
Travel that time.
Wasatch got a break there.
Otherwise, you're right.
That play was wide open.
Brady knows it too. He's apologizing to everybody he can think. But we'll live to play another game there. Ethan Moore's back in at the point.
Connor Hendrickson led Wasatch in that first quarter, especially the first couple of minutes. Hendrickson's going to go baseline, take a spin move. Good.
Great move.
This could be his game.
We needed a little Connor last week. He could have been under the weather. We don't know. We don't have a.
Hendrickson with 9.
Boy, he looks confident today.
Quick foul. Boy, there is a lot of fouls in this game called. Both teams. Next foul for Spanish Fork. They will be in the bonus.
It's taking me back to my football coaching day. I'm sitting right next to Coach Baird with tie and tie, and Coach did not like that call. He did not like that call.
At the line for Spanish Fork is Jackson Reese. Reese, as we mentioned earlier, averaging 12 points a game. So far, pretty quiet for Reese, but
I haven't noticed who's guarding him, Brent, but that could be one of the factors.
Basketball is a game more than most sports. It's all about matchups.
Yeah.
And you can expose them and you can use them to your advantage. And that's something you want to find very early on is your matchup advantages and exploit it.
I like that cut by Brady. Very aggressive.
With an opportunity there.
Yeah, a lot of hands in there. The tree kind of had them up.
Seemed like the cut was good and the pass there, but maybe just. So another turnover for Wasatch. Down 14-18 here at the beginning of the second quarter. Wasatch able to, in a man, like you mentioned, they are in the man-to-man.
Look at Lewis move him up the block.
Yeah.
If he's going to catch it, he's catching it. 15 feet extended.
I saw that coming. Great job, Lewis. Look at this kid.
Hendrickson's going to come up with it after the scrum.
Oh, give that to him. That would have been great. I love the shot. I would have liked to see Lewis get to finish that. on the defensive side of the ball, he did fantastic. And it wasn't the block shot was just a part of it.
Yeah, the block shot took care of the offense against Spanish Fork.
It started it, but then when he came down, he fronted the post, hustled on the end.
Here's the replay of that.
That's a clinic right there. Now watch him right here. He continues to play. He confronts the post, makes that bad pass, then comes around the other side.
That's hustle point.
Yep,
right there.
Absolutely. That was all Lewis Hoffman.
And then Lind ended up with the bucket at the other end. I don't think Spanish Fork has missed a free throw yet. Here's the finish of that play. Hendrickson sprinting down in the middle, found Lind. Beautiful little soft jumper to cut the lead to 2. Now the lead is 3. Second free throw is missed. I think that's the first miss for Spanish Fork.
It's going to stay here.
You jinxed him.
I jinxed him. I would say so far, gentlemen, these teams look pretty similar.
Yeah, I would agree.
Dunn gets it done. I mean, that was a pass way down at his feet, and there were 2 guys on him, and he still found a way.
They don't have him on the board, so I don't know how, but he's got 10 or 11. He's almost at his average.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Great move.
I think he's at 10, and he swallows up that rebound.
Man, you can't, nothing wrong with that move. Just got to get that to fall.
Spanish Fork back up again. They are scoring, it seems like, every time down, except this time Wasatch comes up with it.
The ball never changed hands.
No, it didn't.
Same kid had it.
Recipe for disaster in most cases.
Hendrickson for Wasatch is a junior. Sam Lind is a junior. Reese Dent is a junior. Here comes Spanish Fork. There's Jackson Reese. Wow. Jackson Reese sprinting down. Reese looked like he was in a different gear than everyone else.
Tons of energy right there. Wow.
The swat by Solorzano. Yeah, I'm just looking at these 2 teams. They're like just trading punches. They look very similar, except except Wasatch now with the double bonus.
Gonna help you right there. Missing some free throws, but Wasatch's got to get the offense going again.
Another difference is the fouls that Wasatch are committing are leading to free throws for Spanish. On the other side, Spanish is fouling, yes, but they're not free throw shots, you know.
Wasatch, after scoring 9 points in the first 3.5 minutes, has only scored 5 points since. We're 3-4 minutes. There's a drive,
and still
they are going to call that foul.
And that was a little bit late. I almost thought he wasn't going to call that. And not only calls it, he gives them the 2. I'd be frustrated, Spanish Fork's coach, too.
It looks like they gave the foul to Leatherwood.
But this is what we've been missing. Reese is now, he's being more aggressive. He's going back to the hole.
And there's the drive. Wow, so they gave it to Leatherwood, who was under the basket.
Wow.
And not to Dunn. I was hoping they'd give it to Dunn.
I did too, coming from behind.
Yeah. According to the scoreboard, Dunn does not have a foul yet, so sitting at 10 points. Dent makes both free throws. Now the lead is 4.
A little more manageable here. 5 minutes left in this
3-point attempt. Spanish Fork wide open. Offensive board. And this time it looks like they're going to give an under the basket foul against Ethan Beckstead.
They have not shot the ball well from the outside. If they start doing that, it's a long night for us.
Because they have wide open looks.
And maybe Coach Ballstead, maybe we're doubling the post 33, rightfully so, right? He's hurting us right now. But we're not rotating.
If they're not hitting them, keep doing it.
Right. Keep letting them shoot it.
The freshman, J.J. Sari.
Boy, you know, we got home, Coach.
They'll shoot 1-1.
Coach Lang and my wife goes, "What happened to the freshman? How come he didn't play?" I didn't even notice. And you know how high I am on that young man. He is a baller. So it's nice to have JJ back.
Sari hits the first. Was he injured?
I don't know. I don't know, Coach.
We'll have to find that out. His dad's here tonight. So both Wasatch and the girls and the boys with freshman contributions.
Yeah.
Sari hits the second very calmly, and very smoothly.
And great freshman, high-level freshman.
Yeah, amazing.
Two.
But this is something that a made shot can lead to.
Oh,
you can put a press when you make a shot.
That's player control right there, Corey. I don't know if they call it that way, but that young man was out of control. JJ went up. The ball carrier had nowhere to go. He's not.
I can't believe there was no call.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
While Hendrickson had the ball there on the floor.
We're getting touch calls down here, and there's a no call on that one.
Here's the replay on that scrum with the ball.
Well, just like
Hendrickson's going to end up with it right here. While he has it, if you watch up in your upper right screen, Coach Ballstead quickly calls a timeout while nobody had tied it up yet. So.
Just like any team, there's a weaker, and when you get officiating crew, so oftentimes there's a younger member there, and it's a time for the other two to walk over and go, hey, what were you seeing on that one? Maybe.
Right.
But heads up, calling the timeout. You got 4.5 with 5 minutes each possession. You want to close this gap, go into the halftime to lead. So calling that timeout was
that's big.
Could be big if you get a bucket out of this. I'm not sure why.
This one's out of the cop for 21 years, guys, and I'm going to tell you what, that officiating job's harder than my job. I'm just looking down there, and he's just stoic. You can't react. You can't. Yeah, I mean, you miss
even when you're wrong, you gotta be right.
Yeah.
Wasatch on a 4-0 run here at the moment. Down 6 just a minute ago. 2 quick buckets, or a couple of free throws in a bucket.
Too much.
Heavy
pressure. I really like when Will
Santiago got caught
Will does
there.
a lot. I think he got, but I think he's doing too much. He's got that. You got to pass the ball, get that going.
That's the pressure. The double team coming. He's trying to back out.
Yeah,
and
he's walking right into it.
Aaron Dunn. I just call him Adam Dunn. 3-point attempt.
Yeah.
Good. Down the pipe. Jackson Reese. Quick points there. Speaking of quick points, here comes just like that. Brady Peary with his own quick points. Just like you said, slashing to the middle.
Got it.
There's a 3-point attempt by Dunn, just off the mark.
Good job.
And Hendrickson.
Good job with Reese, just letting him shoot that, staying in the paint.
Hendrickson leaping over the 6'7" Kimball Johnson. Reese is going to take 3-pointer.
I was going to say, wasn't a great shooter's pass.
He's giving him space all night.
And Reese kind of bobbled a little bit, but man, set his feet and
Reese Dent 3-pointer ties the game.
He got a pretty shot.
3:30 left here in the first half.
Good ball movement.
Man.
There's a 3-point attempt. That one's good.
There you go.
Jackson Reese, 2 in a row.
Now we're heating up in here.
We just talked about we don't want to let him get it going out of there.
Just like
we
that.
are slow to rotate with that.
Reese has lit up 2 3-pointers here in this last minute.
Guys, we're standing a lot. There's got to be more movement away from the ball.
That 3-pointer no good by
zero movement right there.
Santiago.
As good as the ball movement was over here on Spanish Fork side, we went over there and we just stood.
So the possession will change to Spanish Fork.
And
Wasatch.
And maybe that was a clear out, Corey. I don't know. JJ, the freshman, gets the ball, but I'd have to think you're not going to clear it out for the freshman.
And they're going to call that foul on the freshman, Sari.
Yeah.
Sari reaching just a little too much right in front of the referee.
And that comes out of Wasatch showing a trapping zone very high up. Typically, when you go zone, it's to keep you out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
At the line for Spanish Fork, shooting 2. Of course, Spanish Fork in the double bonus is Landon Leatherwood.
So I'm just looking at our boys, and we got some red faces and hands on hips. We look a little tired.
Leatherwood.
Oh, come
that
on,
is a
man.
tough break.
I'm not saying that JJ, but that's kind of a maybe it was more that was an easier call than
He was falling, and they're discussing it a little bit right now, but Sari was tripping, and they're saying he didn't get rid of it before he crossed the line.
He was right there, so he saw something we did. Oh, there we go. Right off the nose.
Santiago's going to pull back. Drive that time, one-handed layup that time by Peary.
Great
no
pass.
Good. Sari goes up.
Nice job. Oh. Nice job. Man, so
little vindication for JJ Sari.
You know, Brady was getting a little. I thought he was going to take it again, and a great look. But again, Lewis Hoffman, right, comes in, gets the offensive rebound, and keeps the ball alive.
But I want to show you this pass by Will to feed that post off of that play.
Oh, wow.
Right through the paint. That's a tough pass.
That was
on the opposite side.
Excuse me, that was Feely. Number 4.
Brady
Peary.
Was that Brady?
That was Brady who made that feed.
That's a tough pass from this side of the court through the lane
that was
to the opposite big.
Just saying, I thought he was going to take it again, and great vision.
Just like that. Wasatch back within 2. Lots of reaching going on.
That's a very, very physical game tonight.
Why do we want to reach?
2 minutes and 30 seconds. The drive by Jackson Reese.
Free throws are the difference in this game.
Yeah, it could be at this point.
Spanish Fork is getting to the line if they're not getting a bucket.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Every trip.
Reese at the line.
We saw this a little bit of Springville. We saw their little point guard, number 1, kind of take over, right?
Oh, he's good too. He is fun to watch.
And he just slashed the. We didn't have an answer for it.
Reese has actually missed 3 out of his last 4, I believe. Or maybe 3 out of his last 5.
2-point game.
That time he hits it. Reese right now leading scorers for Spanish Fork with 12 points.
Yeah, Dunn's been kind of quiet, this whole quarter.
Peary's going to drive.
Great job.
Hendrickson. 2 different opportunities there.
Listen, and what Brady's doing, the reason why Brady's still on the court is before it was a shot. Now he's seeing, he's dribble drive, get in there, you bring the other defender and kick it off.
They're talking about who this went off of.
That's a Wasatch ball, don't you think?
Oh boy, it's right there at the end. It almost looked like Hendrickson might have touched it, but.
Yep. What are you?
I think they're calling that on Will Santiago. An offensive foul, I believe.
Man.
JJ Sear got the call. Spanish Fork up 3 with a little under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter.
First time
Aaron Dunn has the ball knocked away by Peary, and here comes JJ Sear. Sari, he's near the basket. He's going to kick it back out. Wasatch will have plenty of time on their shot clock. Not that that's been an issue this game. Will Santiago's going to take a 3-pointer just off the back iron, but there's Hendrickson once again. 1:28 left. Plenty of time.
I would look for your post mismatch.
3-pointer.
There you go. That's a ball.
Or just splash it in his eye.
Well, he had Dunn on him. And Dunn was sagging, and he's like,
it's a mismatch either way, right?
Yeah.
You can either take it over him,
right.
Or a post has got to be open.
Once again by Brady Peary. Here comes Santiago. He's going to post dishes off to Lewis Hoffman, and he is fouled. Hoffman running like a gazelle over on that left side, filling the lane.
Lewis wanted to dunk that, and then it rolled right off the back of the rim. But I'll tell you what, a name we're hearing a lot tonight is Brady Peary. He on the defensive side of the ball. He's throwing some great passes, and he's creating. We're being aggressive again, going to the basket, bringing defenders with us, and then kicking it off.
JJ Sari will come off. Hoffman misses the first. Ethan Moore will come back into the game. Hendrickson. I don't know if Hendrickson has sat yet. Hoffman makes the second. And that is his first point of the game.
I don't think he has, Coach Brent, because he's pretty red-faced, too.
And that's the first lead Wasatch had since that early on.
First time,
you're right.
Wasatch with the lead for the first time since the first quarter.
Brady's doing a great job on
three-pointer, no good. Hoffman comes down with the rebound, but inadvertently passed it to the referee, I believe.
I don't know who was on Reese the first few times down the court.
There's the Santiago shot, yeah.
But Brady Perry's been on him the last couple times down, and he's really just shut him down. Brady's such a...
There's going to be a foul on Hoffman, I would imagine.
I think we say a lot of things as coach that sound inappropriate, but Brady's he's a good-looking athlete, right? And he's so physical that Reese just can't push him around and go around him. Brady's staying in front of him.
That'll be the second foul charged to Lewis Hoffman.
And that's a good spot. 2 about this point in the game is perfect for Lewis. The way, he's active and physical as he plays.
After hitting what I believe was their first 6 or 7 free throws, Spanish Fork has now missed 4 at least out of their last.
Thing I love about Lewis, he's going to give you that effort on defense. He's going to give you that offensive rebound to give you another look at the basket.
Lane violation. That basket will not count.
Wow. That's huge.
I have to say, guys, I thought twice that Spanish Fork was in quickly, so I'm feeling justified that I may know a little bit of what I'm talking about here.
There you go.
So Wasatch with the lead, 36 seconds left here in the first half.
It does you no good to pull your dribble up that high up. You just can't do it.
But then somebody's got to move, though, right?
Yeah. Someone's got to come bail him out. But man, bad things happen when you
turnover at the bad time. Opportunity now for Spanish Fork. Down 1. Spanish Fork had at one time a 6-point lead here in this second quarter.
Nice job, Lewis.
Lewis Hoffman sprinting down, looking like he wants something. He goes up and misses the layup, gets his own offensive board, but it's going to go to Spanish Fork. Opportunities missed.
So, again, we're trying to go to Dunn on the wing. I don't know where I give it, and Lewis Hoffman steps in front of it. Give it right back to him. Darn it.
Coach Ballstead pleading for the foul.
Yeah.
And he's being told, better go back and sit down. But he's going to get a technical.
It is
clearly outside of his box.
Again, guys, we talked about the weaker of the consistently this official right here is getting hurt, is making some unsound calls.
Wow, that referee really resisted.
Yeah.
Giving him a T right there.
Yeah. The other refs kind of helped him.
And I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I am too.
7 seconds, 5 seconds left. Here comes
palming.
Jackson Reese with a beautiful.
What a take.
Wow, right to the end of the buzzer. That basket counts and puts Spanish Fork up 33-32.
What a game, guys.
What a game. A couple of these.
Here this is the one that he was halftime. Something else has happened, however, and I'm not 100% sure. Something's happened. We've got.
It looks like coaches are really going livid on the refs.
I think the ref did actually call a technical.
Wow.
That will be assessed at the beginning of the second half, I'm guessing.
So the one official is obviously taking a little bit of the heat, and rightfully so. He's not called a good game. He's struggled.
Well, I think the T was called on Coach Magnuson.
Oh.
An assistant coach can never. They're not supposed to get up. They're never supposed to talk to an official.
Right.
And it just wasn't happening. He was very patient with Coach Ballstead, had him sit down.
Yeah.
I felt like that was mature of the official to do that. Let it, sometimes they just want to be heard.
Right. Coach Hull's here. You guys, let's get her on.
What let's do is, if we could, we'll give a minute for the drill team, and then we'll be able to have Coach Hull. So we'll let you watch the drill team, and we'll be right back in a moment to talk with Coach Audrey Hull. Thanks for joining us here on Sting TV.
Okay, we're going to let them watch now. We could do it during the last.
is at about 4 minutes, we'll start tapping this game no matter what we're doing. Then, we're going to invite you to stay to tap during the first inning if you would like. Okay. We can give feedback on the game. Okay? I'm going to go use that. I'm going to go use the restroom. And we'll be right back in a minute. See you guys.
Under the direction of Lord Clearfield. Also, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, would you please welcome the Wasatch High School drum line. Also, halftime entertainment.
Yeah, no problem.
Dance company. They'll be performing their inspired jazz dance tonight.
Yeah, you never got to see it.
In the nest. Dan Sarah, you in the nest, would you come down here to the announcer stand, please? Come on down there and reach down, has a message for you. Reese says, let's have a ball, can't wait for the sweetheart dance. You two have a great time at the dance. He says yes. Well, she says yes. He says yes.
And hello, everybody. Hopefully you've been staying with us here on Sting TV. And we got a chance to see the drill team and the drum line and the dance team here. But right now we have a couple of minutes before the start of the third quarter of the boys game. We have a couple minutes to visit with Audrey Hull, the head coach of the girls team, just coming off a huge win, 71-42 over the Spanish Fork Dons. And Audrey, thanks again for joining us. We got a chance to talk to you a minute ago. Let's talk about the game. Is this going to help you sleep a little bit tonight?
I think I'm going to sleep really well tonight. But I still have to watch film on the upcoming game and get practice plans. So coaches don't get much rest, that's for sure.
You know, we talked a little bit about the amazing start. So let's start there.
Wow.
The start, I mean, you were up 6-0 in the first 45 seconds.
I thought we got 8.
And well, I think the 8th point came right at about a minute. So, you know, Feely, 3 buckets and then another one. So Spanish Fork didn't know what hit them in the first few minutes. Explain that. Was that part of the plan, or was that just part of what you were hoping to do defensively?
Well, I would like to always plan to come out that way, but I mean the girls, we've been coming out flat lately, and so we were really going to try to come out with a lot of energy, put some pressure on the ball, see what we could do with our speed and our quick guards, and so that played advantage to us. I mean, we got some quick steals, and yeah, that's the best start I've ever coached in my whole career, I believe.
Well, but you know, Corey Lang talked about talking with you and that your emphasis was defense. When he says that, is that just a little bit more focused during the week of practice, or was it just noticing, maybe watching video of the previous games?
That's my whole philosophy of coaching basketball. Defense is always going to be an emphasis, and actually we've been struggling more offensively, so we try to balance them out, and we like to give different looks defensively to try to keep our opponents on their toes, and the girls do a really good job switching up defenses, and I just love how hard they play. They play so hard. I have to sub them out because they're so gassed because they go hard.
Well, I guess that's always a good sign.
That's a good sign.
Well, we're going to keep Audrey Hull here with us. She's going to help us call this third quarter for as long as she can. We're looking at free throws. I believe there was a technical foul called after the teams had left the court or were leaving. We're not 100% sure, but Corey was mentioning he thought maybe an assistant coach on the bench of Wasatch actually had a discussion with the referee when he wasn't supposed to. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it was on the assistant coach, and it was at the end of the game when Wasatch had already left the floor, and Spanish Fork was leaving, and so they had to assess that technical during the second half.
What are you seeing here, Coach? Did you get a chance to see any of the first half here of the boys?
I haven't got to see a whole lot of the first half.
So Spanish Fork coming out with the first possession, got a couple of pretty good looks and was not able to convert. So Wasatch sees that as a bit of a victory. There's a play right underneath Lewis Hoffman with an opportunity and a little bit of a look, and the miss. And Spanish Fork comes back.
Yeah, that was a really good look under the basket. We cringe as coaches when we get those looks under the basket and miss them, and that was a hard shot.
Yeah, a little bit farther. He's got the athleticism to do that. Sometimes he just goes a little too fast.
So a foul charge to Wasatch. I didn't quite see who it was, but right now, looking on the board for Spanish Fork, does have Ethan Beckstead with 3 fouls. That's a block shot on.
Oh, wow.
And they're right back as a steal, and
bailed him out.
Does not go.
Not a high percentage shooter there for Beckstead, and he started last in the first half, got a little bit of burn, and they set him the rest of the game, and he's in again.
Beckstead, as we mentioned a minute ago, playing with 3 fouls.
Spanish Fork, they're giving me a little flashback of Springville, where they, on the rebound, they really come after you and attack the ball.
Yeah. And it seems like Coach Ballstead wants to go after 33 and not let Dunn get off. God, we have got to rebound the ball.
Boy, Wasatch's opportunity missed by Spanish Fork. Lewis Hoffman's going to drive, and they're going to call the foul on him, and he's not able to.
We call that in football hearing footsteps, right? And so, and I think Lewis just saw the big man. I wish he would have just went up. And
I was afraid the ref wasn't going to see that call.
Yeah. Well, and then, it looked like he got him from behind, almost.
He did, in the air
or something. Yeah,
shoved him while he was in the air.
Hoffman misses the first.
Lewis shoots free throws like he shoots under the basket sometimes, a little quick.
Hoffman quiet tonight. 1 point on the scoreboard.
But he makes up so many other aspects of the game. His defensive, his activity defensively in the first half was just a game changer, I thought. And he's had some good looks this second half of the basket.
And they're going to need him on the rebounds.
Yep. And that's what he gives you, Coach. Sometimes he gives you that second chance, you know?
Yes.
Gets it, kicks it out, keeps the ball alive.
That foul was charged to Beckstead on the rebound, and that will be his 4th foul.
That's great.
He's going to come out of the game. Kimball Johnson.
So hence the reason he said a lot the first half, I guess.
Yeah.
Right now, Spanish Fork with 2 players at 6'7" or more on the floor. There's an open 3-pointer, no good. Hoffman's going to get the offensive board drive. Misses. And Dunn comes up with the rebound.
He struggled offensively, but you're right. He gives you so much.
That energy, right. Gives you another chance at makes people work hard, right?
Right.
It's one thing you shoot it, bangs all the rim, you get it, you go down and transition your offense, but you got to work for it.
Both teams dry here in the third quarter. We're almost 2 minutes in, and neither team has scored here in the third quarter. 3-point by Spanish Fork off the rim.
Miles got away with one.
Hendrickson comes down with the board and brings it down. Moore coming around. He's going to have a wide open little 10-foot shot. No good.
Can't get it to drop.
Dang.
Can't get it. Ethan's not going to shoot a lot, but that was a good look. Just couldn't get it to fall.
The rebound came down with Hoffman, but he stepped on the baseline. So
putting a little pressure on him.
Still 1-point game.
So Coach Hull, looking at things with your team, you have, and there's a foul going to be called on Moore again.
Very touch.
I can say one thing, as a coach, it's been really hard to get used to the officiating this year. Like last game, they were reaching, grabbing all over us, and today you can't put your hands on, and so that makes it tough for players when there's not that consistency in calling.
It's a part of the game that sometimes I think non-players don't understand. When you're like, well, she's not being as aggressive. Well, she's getting a foul every time she's looking at somebody.
Three-pointer by Reese. Hoffman just cannot find the basket.
And if you're going to go that far underneath, I like him using the backboard. Just that one, just unfortunate.
Great move. Hoffman definitely with the opportunities. If those start falling.
But Ashley Garner does that for you. You know, she is so athletic and active. She can keep that ball up there. She's always a threat. But there's sometimes I see a little bit of Lewis. She goes so fast, spins the ball up.
Right.
Three-pointer by, I believe that was Reese. Jackson Reese with the three-pointer so that was the first score here of the third quarter for either team. So while we have Coach Hull here with us, we want to be able to also recognize our sponsors on the screen. But Coach Hull, what is right now that would you say was the number one strength of your team tonight? You talked about defense. What's the number one strength of your team right now?
Well, I've told you this before. The strength of my team comes from my team love each other, and they play for one another. And so they're as happy when their teammate scores as when they score. And that's a powerful
you see that.
to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they look like that. They look like they enjoy themselves, and I'm sure there's little things here and there. Maybe drama's just a typical high school student, but overall it looks like that seems to be, that's like you say, the strength of your team. So
nice
Spanish
pass
Fork with some passing down low, and that's Kimball Johnson with the pass from Aaron Dunn.
He demands respect. You lose track of your man, and he makes you pay. But, boy, he has been quiet. You can even see him moving. He's a little less energy, too.
Three-pointer. Good.
There you go. Sam Lynn. He's been really quiet. Pick your moments, right? There's been other guys that are hot, and he nice, clean, nice open shot, sets his feet.
Now you got to go to the well. Now that he's got the bucket, let's give him another look.
Man, where did that?
Aaron Dunn with some fancy footwork, spin move.
You know, Coach, you referenced Charles Barkley earlier. That was a little Charles Barkley-ish, where you're a little lackadaisical on defense, and then you just spin someone out of their shoes on the offensive side. We miss the ball.
And the other thing about Barkley is he would be a big guy, but then all of a sudden he would just take off.
Right.
And that's what Dunn did right there, is after being what sometimes looks like he's kind of quiet, he just spun around quickly. Here he goes again.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he would be that fast, but he has a quick spin move for sure.
You know, Reese is doing
shot clock down to 8.
Jen's doing a good job in front of him. Got to get the rebound.
And they're going to get a fresh shot clock.
You know, easier said than done. I always criticize, the lack of rebounding. Reese turned around lackadaisical, just following the ball. But it's so much effort in rebounding the ball. It's why so very few guys are good at it.
And Wasatch is going to catch a break there. Spanish Fork throwing. Right now we got the student section very, very active at the moment.
Well, we've struggled with boxing out and rebounding, and we've been pretty focused on that lately. And what I try to tell them is that's a controllable. That's something you can do every time the shot goes up. You might not can make every shot, but you can box out every time.
Right.
And it's basically muscle memory. You just gotta learn it and do it.
There's Connor.
Good.
He was hot in the first half, and we have not seen him. And he is he's found a mismatch there and getting it deep in the paint.
Well, Coach Hull, we asked what your strength was, and you just talked about your rebounding. What is your biggest weakness right now as a team?
Nice move. Still can't get it to fall.
He's going to get this one to fall.
Yeah.
Though.
Talking to himself a little bit. I'll tell you, I've been there.
I feel like turnovers have probably been our biggest weakness, and we're trying to control that more.
Well, most definitely down tonight would just by our observation, we don't have statistics, but
Well, and I think you mentioned it too. So much defensive pressure last game against Springville. You saw, and again, I criticize the performance, not performer, but someone who's usually a good ball handler just turn around and throw the ball. You know, if you're a little bit frustrated, so they'll learn to play with that. One of the things I gave kudos to Spanish Fort girls is they kept on playing.
Yes.
Never got their head down. There was not a point where you saw all 5 girls out there with their hands on their hip, kind of giving up. They just kept pushing and going to the, so something to be learned from there. They're going to play hard.
And my point guards are young, a freshman and a sophomore, and
amazing.
We do expect they're going to have some errors, but I wouldn't trade them for anything.
No, not at all. And I don't even know that I was thinking your point guard. It was some of your off ball girls, and they seemed to get the ball. And when the pressure's turned up like that, it was almost like, hey, I can't get rid of it fast enough. We all see that a little bit. Like, I don't want to have the ball in my hands.
Yeah.
But that's what a good team like Springville does for you. And I can't remember the Springville gal's name, but is she a baller or what?
Oh, it's Esplin.
Oh, my goodness.
And she is, well, I mean, they all can ball out, but Esplin definitely is a senior guard who leads the team. And excellent.
3-point attempt by Santiago. Just a minute ago down there, Aaron Dunn was charged with the offensive shoulder, and Wasatch with an opportunity there. But Spanish Fork. You got me talking Springville now. Spanish Fork with the opportunity here to capitalize on their lead.
Maybe we can hit that mismatch against number 3 again on the other side of the floor.
Aaron Dunn's going to go up. This time it's blocked by Hoffman. Kicks it out. 3-point attempt, no good.
That's good. Great rebounding. You see Lewis turn and get his body into him.
Hoffman once again. He's going to drive.
He did. He traveled. Oh,
foul.
Yeah, I thought they might call that. But
he did a nice jump stop and lost balance, so luckily we got the foul.
Yeah, my coach would call that you just got bailed out, young man.
Here's the replay. Hoffman going up, blocking. That's at least a couple of shots. That was a couple plays ago, and then there was another one here just a moment ago. So
I was impressed with
Hoffman. That was the offensive foul. Okay.
Hoffman boxing out. He's really going after him.
Oftentimes we see Lewis getting a little bit of foul trouble. He's doing a lot better job, a lot smarter player this second half of the season.
Wasatch, I would say at the moment, not playing great and only down 2. Would that be a fair?
Yeah, and not getting a whole lot of good looks.
Hendrickson with the offensive board. That really wasn't a shot, I guess. Looks like Perry's shot was blocked. Hendrickson ended up with it and then went up and was fouled.
Foul on number 5.
I tell you, your free throws are so crucial. And I have to brag on Ashley. She struggled at the start, and she's really been doing a great job on
We all commented on that. She is just money from that.
Hendrickson hits the first.
From the free throw line.
And you got to have that. Those are your easy points. You got to make those.
We talk about sometimes I feel like when she goes fast, she wants to do it before she gets fouled because it's frustrating to make a good move, get fouled, then have to go to the line and get it that way. She's kind of finding that role, and she did a great job tonight for you.
Yeah, she did.
Hendrickson's free throws tie the game once again at 40. 1 minute, 23 seconds left here in the third quarter. Spanish Fork has gone a little dry here in the last couple minutes.
They put Brady Peary in, and he did a great job defending Reese. He's not on him right now, but
Dunn was able to get.
Yeah, there you go.
There's the shot clock.
Great job. Great job.
That makes the coach proud.
Yep.
Hoffman guarding Dunn was able to get the ball out of his hand.
And I don't think Reese did a bad job. Reese Dent did a bad job on 33 Dunn last half either. But Lewis is a next level defender.
Shot up by Lynn, no good. Once again, Hendrickson with the offensive board.
He is so tough in there.
Hendrickson leading with 15 points for Wasatch tonight with 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Kimball Johnson still in the game for Spanish Fork. Lind almost with the steal. Great pass there. Once again, Aaron Dunn.
Reese is a player, and so other than Brady Peary, most of our boys are finding it hard to stay in front of him.
And there's a steal once again by Jackson Reese. He's going to go up and score. Jackson Reese taking over a bit here at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, he's a good ball player. Good handles, and we've struggled, and I think we make that switch. I think we put Brady Peary on him, slow him down a little bit.
So at the end of 3, Wasatch and Spanish Fork trade buckets. This is going to go down to the wire, I'm guessing. So, Coach Hull, we don't want to keep you forever, but give us just a little bit that you've been able to watch this game. What does Wasatch need to do at this point to take control of the fourth quarter?
They're playing really hard. I'd like to see, they take pretty quick shots though. I'd like to see a little bit more ball movement, getting a little bit higher percentage shot. They're doing a good job defensively, and they're playing hard. Like, they're out there scrapping. So I believe they can get this back. And I like them driving and get fouled, and they're making shots at the free throw line. So I think keep at it, because we do have some height advantage against these guys.
We're looking at your schedule. You this Friday night, Coach, you are on the road again. And I got to say, I'm just looking it up. I'm not sure. Is it
Maple
Mountain?
I believe it's Maple Mountain.
Okay. So right now, looking at the standings, they haven't updated those standings yet, but you guys now jump to 2-2 in the tough Region 9. And Maple Mountain, what has happened there? They're struggling just a little bit. They are 0-13.
Well, they are struggling. They're really young, and so Provost coach, she talked to me. She said they play JV and varsity, so sometimes they get tanked at the end of the varsity game. But they're a really young team, and not to be overlooked, because they're very well coached, and they usually have some good shooters as well.
Very well said as a coach going into your next game. Girls, if you're listening, Coach Hull gave you
that's good advice.
great marching orders.
We're not sure what the turnover was there for Wasatch. Oh, they did call the foul. So did they call, but I don't know who. So we didn't see anything on the board change. There's another great move on the inside. Jackson Reese.
You got to lock Reese down slow, because he's really the catalyst for Spanish Fork right now. And that's a nice take on Brady.
That's really nice.
Very under control. I'd make that switch, Coach Ballstead. I'm really good at making calls from up here in the booth.
Yeah, calls are easy to make up here.
Yeah. Yeah. We're undefeated, by the way. Every one of our calls are right, Coach.
There's a replay on that shot by Peary. Soft little 4-foot jumper.
But yeah, you have somebody that's hurting you. We try. For us, we go Liz Houston. Try to lock them
she
down.
love her defensive intensity.
Aaron Dunn once again. Great post move. That's a lot of 6'8" great post moves right there. Peary's going to kick it out.
He did. Shuffled a little bit. But he just ran into a tank, so
into the game for Spanish Fork is Leatherwood, replacing Healy.
But I'm with Coach Hull. I say you still be aggressive. That's still a great move. He draws a couple people. He kicks it out.
Almost draw foul.
Yep.
6:30 left here in this game. Spanish Fork with a 4-point lead.
And you need those back, guys. You got to rebound.
3-point shot, no good.
And get that ball back.
JJ Sari's going to come up with it. And here comes Wasatch. Hendrickson is going to go all the way. Gets it. Sari just drops it. 3-point attempt was thought of. Sari's going to take a 3-pointer. In and out.
That's Reese, Coach. That was Reese Dent. No,
that was Reese Dent.
They look alike.
Thank you. Yes. Absolutely. Sorry.
Again, Reese Dent's he's such a good shooter, but that is not. You can just tell he's not confident when he goes up to hit that. It's almost an afterthought.
Boy, just had the look and in and out.
Yeah.
Just not able to go.
Reese is a better shooter than that.
Aaron Dunn once again.
This
time misses, but he gets his own board.
Make people move.
He is being hounded by Dent. This time they're going to call it on Spanish Fork.
There you go. You know, Peary started that. He got up high and just contested it. And Coach Brent, when you talked earlier about such a soft shot, when you have a soft shot like that, you get a hand in your face, you tend to do things a little bit differently. So pushed it a little hard.
They did give the foul to Dunn. Dunn now has 3 fouls. Here's Hendrickson again. He kicks it out to Sari. Sari's going to drive. It is pulled off out of his hands. No foul charge.
That was a walk and a foul. But we got, and again, we're sticking to exactly what Coach Hull said that we should do. We're driving the basket and we're kicking it out. I don't necessarily like when we have to drive all the way in, turn our back, and then shovel it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather like a kick out with a guy in a shooting position.
The call
They're
was
collapsing hard. There's got to be a kick out.
Right.
the call there was a travel against Spanish Fork. Miles Brown is back into the game. Brown hit a couple of shots early on. Lewis
there he got it. There he goes. Got the ball. He is due.
The lead is 2 now for Spanish Fork. 5 minutes left in this game.
He's ready to fill up the basket now.
Yes, he is.
Dunn is he is.
That's what
Miles Brown.
And you know what he's feeling.
There's the move by Hoffman.
He's getting Dunn to come out on him, and then he's taking him. He almost kind of kicked it out, but as Dunn walked out of him over above the block, he went ahead and took him.
Miles Brown with 4 fouls now. That time, I bet the foul will be charged to J.J. Siri.
Good foul, though. He makes that if he doesn't foul him.
He is hard to keep off the boards.
Dunn at the line for Spanish Fork. 16 points. He has capitalized on his 11-point per game average. I'm a little surprised by that almost.
Yeah.
11 points. As dominant as he seems.
Well, and we talked about 5 was quiet. Reese was quiet.
Yeah.
He's got 21 points now.
Jackson, yes.
Yeah, he's come alive. And I'm going to stick with it. You got to get somebody on Reese to slow him up because he's that kid that makes it happen.
Aaron Dunn.
And kicks it off.
To me, just looks like he has all the tools. He looks like he's...
Well, I'm going to bow out so you guys can finish this close game up.
Thanks,
Audrey
Coach.
Hull, once again, we thank you for joining us and congratulations on your win tonight and continued good luck with the season.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Audrey Hull, she's going to go ahead and go have some fun somewhere else. And
so fun to do a game with her. She knows the game.
Yeah. So thanks again, Audrey Hull, and we'll take a minute to look at the replays here. Yeah, I'm just so impressed with Aaron Dunn. I'm just
yeah. No, he
really
is,
been a
he's a baller.
Response.
He is a baller.
So looking at here in the final couple of minutes, we have several minutes left here in the game. Spanish Fork holding on to a 4-point lead. There have been 4 lead changes in this game.
Talk about some foul trouble. Just the players up on thing. We have a Miles Brown and J.J. Siri each with 4 fouls. And, you know, those are the guys you want to get them.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely don't want Lewis in foul trouble. But speaking of Lewis, he's got 3. And Lind is at 3 as well.
Spanish Fork, Beckstead has 4. And Dunn has 3. You'd think you'd want to go at Dunn a little bit, maybe.
Right.
And Wasatch with an opportunity here. And that is going to be touched by Spanish Fork. And so it's going to stay with Wasatch. Wasatch, Sari will come out of the game.
See if that was
Perry
touched.
comes back
Brady's
in.
earned some minutes here.
I don't know.
And Brady's earning his minutes.
Corey, I was trying to show the replay to see if that was touched, but
Corey Lang, we have you back. Corey gave up his mic for Audrey Hull. Corey, last 4 minutes here of the game. Shot good.
Sam comes alive a little bit.
What's the key here for Wasatch, Corey Lang?
that right there. Well, I got to convert, get buckets, and get stops.
And as good as Dunn's been, you got to slow Reese down right now. And guys,
Reese.
yeah, look, Brady Peary's on Reese. That's what I've been calling all night. He did a great job on him in the first half. Reese has got 20. I don't even let him catch the ball.
Reese wide open there. Three-pointer, good.
Yeah, Dunn's not killing you. He's controlling, he's handling a lot, but he's not beating you, right?
Yep.
Reese,
Jackson.
on the other hand,
Yeah, Jackson
you
Reese.
can't trade buckets.
I don't like the switch either.
Moore hits his own three-pointer.
Miles finally
Miles
gets.
Brown.
I don't know that Miles wants to even catch it in the post anymore.
Jackson Reese with 24 points.
Yeah, if you're not running plays, drawing up a screen, getting Miles the ball on the three.
Aaron Dunn, he's going to look at Lewis Hoffman. He's going to spin to his right, no good.
Good job, Lewis.
He's not getting the lift that he was earlier in the game, either in his feet or the ball. Everything's coming up a little short.
Well, he knows Lewis is he's a jumper, right? So when you got an explosive kid like that, you see a couple swatted away, you think twice about it.
That foul's going to be charged
Very nice.
to Beckstead, and he will foul out. He is not happy. I'll tell you what, that referee has heard a lot of jawing from coaches and players and not called anything. And until that, of course, that technical at the half. But, yeah, Beckstead's off, and he is just fuming.
Beckstead. Well, there's been a lot of people mad at that certain official tonight, but probably no more than Beckstead because he got a foul called on him right off the bus.
Yeah.
I think he stepped off the bus and got a foul.
Miles Brown with the opportunity to tie this game. Hits the first.
You know, as much as I love what Miles is doing, I don't want him bringing the ball up. The less he can handle the ball out here above the timeline, the better.
It doesn't play into his shooting either.
No, yeah.
If he's coming off a screen or he's set, and it's kicking to him, he's money.
Miles Brown, Jr. for Wasatch. Hits both, and this game is tied.
And now you got Miles on Reese. That is a big mismatch. Oh, I told you.
Unbelievable. Once again, pass meant for Lewis Hoffman, but it hit the rim.
Almost went in.
Guys, we're under 3 minutes here, down by 2. I don't know that I want to be thrown.
Spanish Fork up 2. Now a little bump there, no call. There's a drive, no good. That drive by Landon Leatherwood. And
Dunn
here comes
wanted
Lewis Hoffman
Great
back and forth.
Good job, Phil. Hey,
Almost got off.
Dunn had the ball down there on the block with Lewis on his hip and nobody behind him, and he kicked that ball out really quick. He wanted nothing to do with Lewis Hoffman.
There's Perry to Hoffman. Back to Perry and the foul.
Good job.
Perry almost able to get the shot off. Well, he got the shot off. He just,
Well, Coach Hall said before she left, these free throws are a big deal right now.
Huge.
If you're going to be aggressive and go to the basket and you're going to draw that foul,
then you've got great shooters on the floor. So
one more foul against Spanish Fork, and Wasatch will be in the double bonus for the last couple minutes of the game. 4 straight free throws for
Brady.
Wasatch.
Brady has had a heck of a game tonight.
again.
You know,
Miles Brown's going to get
I'm
called
going
for
to tell
that
you
foul.
what.
that's a gamble so far from their rim that you just, at this point in the game, you don't want to stop the
And
clock.
I want to say of his 5 fouls, 4 of them have been that. I mean, coming from behind.
Know
and
the
not having
situation
to
and know risk versus reward.
And he doesn't really have good position on that either.
Yeah, that's Miles Brown's 5th personal foul, so he will come out of the game with 10 points. A couple of free throws there just now to tie the game.
My man
Ethan Moore will come back.
My man
for
Ethan Moore in.
Wasatch.
A little quiet this game.
But still a threat, from the perimeter. He's going to command attention.
Good ball handler.
You can't leave him.
I'm excited for Brady Perry. He's had a great game tonight. He's getting more minutes because he's unselfish when he needs to be.
Kobe Healy for Spanish Fork sinks the first one. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in the game, and both teams in the bonus.
You know, he's got 1 point.
Coach,
and that was the most important point
That was
right now.
Point. Yep.
You know, Coach, I think Brady needs to continue to develop. That he really helps us.
Kobe Healy sinking both cool and calm.
Ethan's been on the bench quite a bit. Let's see if he's cold. Nice pass.
Perry's going to drive. Gets
Nice
it back to
pass.
Hoffman. No call. Hendrickson comes
nice
up with
job.
and a new shot clock for Wasatch.
Don't shoot yourself out of it. That's
Sam
a good shot.
Lynn
That's a good shot.
ties the game once again.
Boy, Sam really elevates on that jump shot. That's a pretty shot.
Him from the elbow is beautiful. Yeah, a great shooter.
Aaron Dunn's going to do the move and gets the score.
Got him up.
Got Hoffman up a little bit off balance, and went right past him. Aaron Dunn, 20 points tonight.
Coach Ballstead calls a timeout.
It's too bad. Sam Lynn just hit that three-pointer.
Yeah.
Very wise. He's attacking the rim, or he's attacking the paint.
Yeah.
He sees the shot blocker inside, so he just pulls up, shoots it over the top. Very heads up.
That's great. And it's a great move by Dunn. Dunn has been a little bit intimidated by Lewis, in my opinion, and he just turned around, slowed down, got his hands up, went right around him.
Yeah.
Lewis got to keep his feet on there. He can explode so fast. He doesn't need to be high on that guy out there.
Wasatch, Connor Hendrickson leading points 15 tonight. That basket by Lind actually gave him 9 points for Spanish Fork.
Man, you
have the two.
Yeah, Reese and Dunn.
The Twin Towers.
Wow. Yeah. Combined for 46 points.
Out of 59.
But I'm with you, Corey. I still think you need to stop 5. He's been quiet for the last few minutes, but man, when he was on fire.
That's the problem.
You can live with 1, but you can't live with 2.
Right. And I think Lewis does, other than a couple of baskets, I think Lewis has done fine on Dunn down here.
Yeah, Dunn's scoring hasn't always been on Lewis Hoffman. It's always
the other thing that
some other type.
When Dunn is catching the ball, it's kind of a ball stopper, right? Everybody else stands and watches.
Right.
When Reese has it, action's on. Anybody's a threat because he's going to shoot. He can score. He can pass. He can. And that's no knock on Dunn by any means.
No, not at all.
There's a soft jumper. Sam Lynn.
And I'd contend a foul on that as well.
The winner of this game is the one that's going to make the stops at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right, Coach.
Both teams shooting well. And that's Solorzano drive.
That's a great pass.
Good. The shot off the mark. And Wasatch with an opportunity to take the lead with 1 minute left in the game. 59-59.
He does have 2 timeouts if he wants to use one to get the play he wants.
It's going to go back to Lynn again. It must be a match they want.
And drives. Hendrickson keeps it alive. Here he thought about that 3.
Here's the timeout.
I thought he called him for travel.
So it looks like it's going to be a full timeout charged to Wasatch.
So it seems like we're getting into a one-on-one game. You know what I mean? That we're clearing out for one guy. I'm with you, Corey. I'd like to see a play called here. Run through a set. If it doesn't work, you know what I mean? As you get deeper into the clock, then go then clear it out for somebody. And maybe that's not by design. It's just the way Spanish defense is set up right now. But
at this point, both teams. I'm holding on to the team that stops.
Right.
And of course, missed shot. They've had a really good look down there. Spanish Fork did. and just couldn't convert. But
I don't want to go one-on-one. I don't want to go back and forth with these guys because I think number 5 for Reese is the better on-ball dude, right? He is hard to stop, hence the 21 points. I don't know that we got a guy like that that's going to take over. We're better when we're distributing the ball. Drive, kick.
And this is exactly what you want on a night in high school basketball. You want your student section loud and you want close games.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of energy in here today.
Wasatch will take the ball out, 3/4 court, 45 seconds. There is only 11 seconds on the shot clock. Lots of movement getting people open. They get the ball into Hoffman. 10 seconds, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Lynn's going to take a three-pointer.
Man, so much confidence in that shot, too.
3-point lead for Wasatch. 27 seconds left in the game. The shot clock should
Who's got number 5?
And there's a steal. Sam Lind ends up with the ball.
Oh, God.
And he's going to get fouled.
That's flagrant, guys. So, not malicious, but when you grab a kid by the jaw to get him stopped, you got to call that.
No, they didn't call it, though.
Yeah, that's a...
There's the three-pointer by Lind, lighting up the Wasatch crowd.
Yeah, that's a flagrant. And I guess you kind of categorize that as unsafe, right? That's an unsafe foul. You're going for the top of the kid's head. You know, you're just reaching for anything. But
here's the foul.
Man, when you grab his chin, his jaw like that,
that would be called face masking. Right?
That's a flagrant.
That free throw makes it a 2-possession game.
You should be getting 2 free throws and the ball back again.
Yeah, you're right. A huge turn of events. Wasatch only once with the lead here in this 4th quarter until now. So this is the 2nd time. It is the 6th lead change of the game.
So
that free throw by Lynn makes this a 2-possession game.
Brady Perry's on the bench, and you gotta put somebody in front of number 5. Reese's got to be stopped. He's gonna get the ball.
Sam Lynn hits both free throws. It's a 5-point lead. 3-point attempt by Spanish Fort.
Wow.
Good. That is Aiden
Solorzano. I was gonna say, what a kiss of death. You don't go to 5. You throw it to Aiden, and he goes down, squares up, and hits one.
Immediately, Spanish Fort calls the timeout, and just like that, what looked like an invincible 5-point lead is now down to 1
I was saying kiss of death. You don't throw it to Reese.
Here's the free throw. Wow, he is way out there.
Another NBA 3.
That was the McKenna Garner
there
shot.
You go. Yep.
Which you probably see that in boys a little bit more, right? All right, so Wasatch will take the ball out. Where will they get it, guys? They called the timeout after the shot. Will it be baseline? Okay. All right, well, looking ahead a little bit. For Wasatch, after tonight's game, they will go on the road at Maple Mountain on Friday night. Spanish Fort coming into this game with a big win over Provo the other night, Friday night. Kind of considered an upset, I think. They will go to they will go to Salem Hills on Friday night. So this Region 9.
That's a tough place to play. Salem Hills plays well at home.
Yeah.
They have an amazing student section.
Yeah. So Wasatch, guys, they're going to see full court pressure probably. Wasatch with a 2-point lead, 8.7 seconds left in the game.
2 parts of this. You got to get it across half court first.
And that ball deflected.
And a foul. That is worst case scenario right there.
Yep.
All you got to do is get the ball in play. They're going to foul you.
Yep.
And we're going for the home run deep.
They went for the open pass. It was deflected. And then Kobe Healy, who hit 2 calm free throws just a few minutes ago.
Man, as a big fan I am,
he was then fouled.
Ethan, he was a little bit sheepish.
Here's
on
the
that inbound
replay.
You put a tall guy on him.
Yeah.
He deflects it.
Kimball Johnson Kimball Johnson got the deflection.
Good coaching moves.
And then Healy ended up with it. And then at that point, Moore, I believe it was Ethan Moore, was just off balance and fouled him. So
kind of got caught behind him.
I don't know if I like that timeout right there. They only had one left. They just called the timeout. I guess you ice your... I never could understand that. I'm not a basketball guy. I remember playing, and one time I was in a game shooting free throws at the end of the game, and the coach called a timeout to ice me, and I was so grateful that I could catch my breath. I don't know.
Right. Well, it's just like a kicker, right? You make him think about it a little bit more.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
They're banking on everybody being like Ken Purdy, where you're just, I'm better when I don't think about it, right? Then when they start thinking about it, going, wow, I could lose the game. Man, this is another region loss.
So what was it? Hoosiers, the movie, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the little kid's name, but the coach said after he makes his free throws.
Yeah, that was great. It was a great, so many great scenes in that, but that was super good.
Well, the scenario here is Wasatch up by 2. And Kobe Healy for Spanish Fork will be shooting 2 free throws. There is still 7.8 seconds left in the game. So let's just say the scenario, Healy hits both.
Yeah, Wasatch has to have a play that they just got in that timeout, but they want to hit and run quick. 7.8 is a lot of time. Plenty of time to run down and
like
get a really good screen and a shot. But
like you mentioned, Spanish Fork no longer has to foul.
No.
Healy.
Wow. Nothing but net, guys.
As ice.
Yeah.
Hits the first. It's a 1-point game. Kobe Healy,
the textbook free throw,
facing a Wasatch crowd under his basket. He hits them both. It's a tie game, and Spanish Fork's going to use their last timeout.
You know, another thing too is
very wise.
Yeah, because you don't want.
It stops them. Now you can set up your defense.
Yeah, you have no control of what they're doing. It's
whatever
dynamic.
play they had called, now they're rethinking.
Yep, they got to do it again.
So,
I mean, even right there, Wasatch quickly got it and threw it in. Fine, so.
And they were off to the races to go quick. This allows them to stop it, slow it down. Now you can set up a defense.
Coach, what are you drawing up right now, Coach Lang?
Depends on who's on the floor. I can't see who he's got in, but you're trying to get in the paint. Whether you're, I'm going to Sam. He's been the player the last 4 minutes here, right? 5 points. Just clutch from inside outside. If you can get Sam attacking into the paint, not driving sideways, right, to the corners. He's attacking from the wing into the paint. Your chances go up.
And if it's we're around 7-8 seconds, this is Danny Ainge, guys. This is Danny Ainge time.
Well, a couple shooters on your wing.
8 seconds took it the play.
Well, it's exactly what Jackson Reese did at the end of the first half.
It is. Yeah.
He drove the lane and did a Danny Ainge, and
But like Corey said, man, worst case scenario.
Just don't turn it over.
Yeah, we turn the ball over, then we foul him as soon as we get it. But
on the floor.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a must-have, right?
Right.
Yes, you want it, obviously, but
Will Santiago will take it out. Lind, Moore, Hendrickson, and Peary on the floor for Wasatch.
You know, the only one, I like everything I'm seeing. The only one I would keep on the floor is I'd have Lewis Hoffman in there somewhere. He's so athletic.
Sam Lind is going to come down to 4 seconds. Lind's going to drive. He shoots. No good, but it's tipped in. And the clock goes off. And Will Santiago got the rebound at the end, hit the shot, but the buzzer
That was a tough shot by Sam.
You see how he's outside the paint, kind of fading out?
Yeah.
And that's defense pushing out, but he's got to find a way. If he starts driving down parallel, use your crossover, do something. Now you got to find your way back into the paint so you're finishing at the rim.
And you got to have an outlet, right? You got to have someone standing right there.
Your shooters in the corners.
Kick,
or in your windows behind, but man, credit them. They got a good look.
Yeah.
They had the rebounders there.
And Ethan, I believe that was Ethan.
Ethan Moore with the tip.
That tipped it got behind and tipped that.
We're going to see the replay here in just a second.
That almost went in.
Guys, I was a little surprised that Lynn got in that good of a shot.
Yeah.
I thought for sure
true.
Spanish would. And then I thought maybe there should have been a foul call.
Especially the way he set up. They packed it in. They packed it in on him.
Here's the replay. We'll have plenty of time to be able to see this.
So they're off the ball. They're not contesting that inbound, so they packed it in
not
down
at all.
there.
Yeah, they're deep.
So
there's Lynn coming down.
He doesn't get picked up, man. Right there.
Right there, gave a little jig move. Almost got that. But then the tip by Moore almost went in. And here's and the clock's already gone off for
a couple rules of thought. Connor stayed out there. Do you stay out there and get the kick, or do you go in? And I think once Lynn turned it back on him, he's going in there to try to get the tip or a rebound.
All right, so 4 more minutes left to this electric game. 64 all. 4 minutes in the overtime. Each team gets an extra timeout, which means each team only has 1 timeout in the whole overtime.
And this is when fouls really start to come into play.
Moore comes up with it, and Wasatch will have the first chance. Lind, Hendrickson, Hoffman, Peary, and Moore on the floor for Wasatch. There's a 3-point attempt by Lind. No good.
A little short.
Rebound. Here comes Spanish Fork quickly. Right there, Lind got a hand on that ball. Otherwise, Healy was going to drive.
I like to draw. Peary's on Reese.
And they're going to call a foul.
Wow.
I believe that's going to be undone.
If that's undone, he's done, right?
And that is called.
That's what I'm saying. The fouls are really going to come in.
Corey, did he call that on that other side?
Yes.
And it wasn't even undone.
I still don't know who they called it on.
Oh, my heavens.
I have no evidence of who they've called the foul on. So
Number
it wasn't
3.
undone, though. So Wasatch with another opportunity, still tied at 64. That shot's no good. Dunn is going to get the rebound. No calls. Wow. Looked like he got it.
Spanish has the possession arrow. That could come into play.
Hoffman on Dunn. There's a drive. They're going to call the foul.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to call the foul on Peary.
Boy, I thought he got
great position. Great position. And just a heads up enough to even know that situation and know to.
And Spanish Fork still in the 1-on-1 actually for another foul.
I'm going to look and see about that last play.
But here's the thing. You see who made that call? This guy up here made the call, not the guy underneath.
Oh, yeah.
He called that on number 3 on the screen coming off here.
Oh, wow. Is that what it was? Okay.
Interesting.
So Jackson Reese hits his first. That's another lead change. That's 7 for the night. Reese is leading all scorers, both teams at 27 and now 28 points. Not a lot of arc on that shot, but all that matters is getting in. Spanish now with a 2-point lead. Hoffman going to spin on Dunn. Reverse and good.
He's got 4 fouls. He's not going to contest. It's a great point.
Exactly
to go right at him.
Great point, Corey.
Hoffman now with his own at 6 points. Still only 6 points. Dunn's going to spin on Hoffman. Kicks it out. There's a 3-point play. Good.
Jeez almighty.
Kobe Healy.
I was just going to say, you're keeping it out of Five's hands, but we're still getting hurt.
Kobe Healy, 7 points, all in the 4th quarter and overtime here. Sam Lynn with a 3-pointer, no good.
Nobody to the board.
No one at the board. So Spanish Fork up 3.
Just ticking under 2 minutes.
There's Jackson Reese is going to get it to Aaron Dunn. Dunn's going to spin, take a fadeaway, no good.
I don't think
that's the shot they wanted, but. And here comes Wasatch down 3. Hoffman's going to kick it out.
Now
to
post
Lynn.
it back up with Hoffman.
Hendrickson has been quiet since his explosive first quarter.
Great job.
Yeah, he's not going to foul you.
It was Hoffman Kicks it out to Perry's going to take a little soft underhand.
Nice job.
How do you describe that? A little underhand? Maybe he thought he was fouled or something.
No, he can create. He's a strong kid. He can create there.
It's a 1-point game in overtime. 1:17 left. Almost a steal, but they're going to call that foul.
Let's tell you what, and it's called off the ball again. This gentleman up here on the corner has called the majority of the fouls here. But anyway, I like where Brady's position
There's a
is.
3-point shot by Healy, man.
Brady is the only kid that can play 5 and slow him down.
This is Jackson Reese now. Jackson Reese misses the first.
Because listen, Corey, when you're a player and you ran into a kid and he didn't give, something mentally there, and 5 knows that. Brady can't be moved, and he's having trouble shaking him, going around him.
Jackson Reese, 28 points. Only 2 fouls. Hits the second, so it is a 2-point game.
You knew he had one in him. But he's a
Minute
good
13
shooter.
left. Wasatch does not need a 3 to tie. They only need a 2, but Hoffman.
Just rotate that around and get Lewis inside.
Lynn's going to drive, and he's going to get fouled.
There you go.
I'm glad
I'd like to see something set up, a screen or something. Lewis is going on his own, and then Sam's going on his own. And boy, I'd love to see something.
What I like to see is somebody else besides this ref under the basket call a foul. He is really taking over the game.
Sam Lind. An opportunity to tie again. 16 points tonight. It's the first.
Nice job, Sam.
And Sam won the game with 2 seconds left against Weber. Down 1. They put him in the line, and he seeks them both to go up.
Good.
He's been here before.
58 seconds.
Brent, you said earlier, what an even match. We're really identical tonight.
Lind hits both. I believe Lind is 6 for 6 free throws in this last couple minutes of the fourth and in the overtime.
Why do you
game?
Why do you not have it in 5's hands? Yeah. Great job.
Hendrickson was just all over him.
See, he just makes things happen.
Spanish Fork, plenty of time. 15 on the shot clock.
Lewis is working down.
They're getting it down. There's a steal. Oh! Wasatch comes up with it. The tie game.
Are you kidding me?
They're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Wasatch.
Let's look at that one.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this crowd not too happy.
Not a great call.
That right there, I
if
thought.
If you're going to call one, that's where it should have been.
Here, but I'm not sure after
Sam
that.
Sam has position even.
What happened?
Unless it was on the first play, which that's what I thought.
Right, if it was a really slow whistle.
Oh, my heavens, guys.
Perhaps. But this is where he's calling it.
See, but right here, I don't
even, unless
I don't see that.
Taking out his legs.
I don't know. I'm with you, Brant. I don't know that I see that. Dunn's getting tied up. Sam's going for the ball.
That foul really hurts Wasatch. Sam Lind has to come out of the game with 5 fouls.
Yeah,
and Sam's been the difference maker here in the fourth and overtime.
So Connor's been quiet. We need
Hendrickson,
him, but he's really tough underneath the basket. Getting to the basket is probably Perry's better suited to do.
Dunn hits both.
Wasatch has tried to post Connor up a couple of times, I've noticed. They bring him down and have him post. Haven't been successful at getting the ball into it. The feed has not been there. So I don't know if they've seen that, a strength for him, but somebody here has to fill that gap of Sam going to the bench, because Sam has carried the team for the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, right. Lind exits the game with 17 points.
Great game, man.
Hit his last 4 free throws and a couple of shots. So hit the 3-pointer at the end of the fourth quarter. You're going to wonder, guys, at the end of that fourth quarter with less than a minute and a half, Wasatch had a 5-point lead. And All I know is stuff like that as a coach, when I was coaching, if I end up losing this game, I'm going to not sleep well tonight thinking about that. So
you're going to go back and look at every possession from then on. And they've had a number of those this season.
And that really unfortunate inbound play.
Yeah.
With
going for the home run deep.
Yeah.
All you need to do is get it in. They're going to foul you. They have to foul you.
So as we resume play, there is 28 seconds left. Wasatch needs 2 to tie.
So your best ball handler is bringing the ball out of bounds. Moore's going to bring it down, spot some guys up.
25 seconds. Wasatch without Lind, but they have Hendrickson and Lewis.
But at least they're running something.
Boy, so far not a little shaky. 10 seconds left.
Ethan's a little shaky.
They are looking like they're not sure. Ethan Moore, 6 seconds, 5 seconds.
Too much.
3 seconds. There's a shot. No good, and that is it. That just did not develop in that 28 seconds for Wasatch.
That was just straight up ugly.
And the game is over. Spanish Fork comes out with their second huge victory in this Region 9.
Gents, I gotta cut out quick. I've got a client that coming through town. I'm going to drop something off to him. Tough loss tonight. We played the last 2 games. We have played our rear ends off, and that's disappointing to
There's
lose
the replay
that at the end.
Boy, it just looked like it just never.
Nobody want to take it.
Yeah.
No one want to take it.
I'm so shocked. Connor Hendrickson. Yeah.
And I don't think Ethan wants to take it. You know, Ethan's been on the bench.
And Dunn's playing behind Lewis in the post. He's letting you throw that inbound.
And
it's almost like we're looking at the clock. Not yet.
Yeah.
Now it's too late.
Ken, thanks for joining us tonight. Good job.
Great job. Great. Hey, fun game. Both of them a fun game. It's unfortunate we lost, guys. Thank you, gents.
All right. Ken Purdy with us. Thanks again. Corey, a little frustrating.
Very, very frustrating.
The guys had just done so many great things, but and for sure you got to compliment Spanish Fork. They did their thing. They get their free throws.
They did everything that they needed to do.
Yeah.
They stayed in. You want to start out well on the road. They did that. They kept it close.
Yeah.
They had the lead at the end of the first quarter. So to go on the road and have a great start that way, check. They made the adjustments. They limited your playmakers. Your 2 playmakers had games out of their mind. 29-22, check. And then taking care of the ball down the stretch.
Yeah.
You know, they got to the free throw line. They made their free throws.
Yeah, they did. And, to their helmet, Wasatch did too. But
but man, Spanish was able to convert. As we mentioned earlier in the first half, their fouls were getting them to the line and getting buckets out of it.
Yep.
Wasatch didn't get enough free throws for the amount of fouls that was happening.
Right.
And then just a lot of watching and standing that whole last possession. There was plenty of time to get whatever you wanted out of that.
Right.
And you walk away with a timeout still left on the board, and you didn't get a shot.
Yeah, that was tough.
I mean, if the first original plan didn't work, the backup doesn't work, timeout.
Right.
This is what I want.
They had a timeout.
Yeah.
They had a timeout. Yeah.
You're going to walk away leaving that timeout in your pocket. It's no good. You can't cash it in, so. But as a coach, I know that's always hard because you want to let them rhythm. You want to let it go. Right. Do I stop? But in that case, it broke down. Nobody wanted it.
Right.
Yeah, call it.
Yeah, so
that's not the reason Wasatch lost. But
it's
Spanish played an excellent game.
Yep.
Excellent game. 72-70. What a fun game as a fan to come and watch.
Yeah,
overtime and a couple good matchups that we were seeing, and
it's just a really good game, like you said. And we knew it. We called it. It would be down to the last possession and who would get the stop last. And so, well, looking at the game, so you're talking about an unfortunate circumstance of events, and Wasatch will go to 0-4 now in the Region 9 with close games, but 0-4. That 9-game losing streak is now 10, and they will go to 3-14 on the season. So Spanish Fork will go to 4-12 overall, but they go now to 2-2 in the region. So,
and coming here and playing in, this was a rowdy crowd tonight. Going on the road, they've got to be feeling really good about where they're at right now at 2-2.
Yes.
Regardless of your overall record. They're 500, 2-2 in region, and just took 2 big games.
Yes, 2 huge games. They're ranking
solid wins.
They're 31. When they come next week, they're obviously going to jump up, and that's always huge come RPI time and tournament time. So
the tournament now has changed. They only take the top 24 teams, right?
Right, exactly. If you can creep up in that 20, is it 24?
I believe it's 24.
Yeah. So Wasatch, we're not sure.
They're having a stomp dance. The 5th,
gotcha.
6th quarter now. We had a 5th.
Okay. And were they going into the nest? Or sorry, they must be doing it in the commons. So, all right. Well, we'll close. Corey, any last thoughts? I know you just mentioned.
This is one that'll keep you up.
But
you're going to stew over this for a while because there's games that we could have had that one. This is a game on the schedule. You're at home against a team that's down.
Yeah.
Not just could, you should have
just
had
an opportunity.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to that very unfortunate set of circumstances in a minute and 30 seconds left, 5-point lead, and looking invincible a little bit. And you could even see it in the shoulders of Spanish Fork. It was a little bit of worry. So, tough go for Coach Ballstead and the guys. So, all right, well, next up for Wasatch, as we mentioned earlier, they are at Salem Hills this Friday night. And, no, sorry. It's Spanish Fork that's at Salem Hills. Wasatch is at Maple Mountain. So,
which is another, Maple's on a down year.
A little bit, both girls and boys.
It looks good for you, but, boy, I hate to say anything at this point.
Yeah. And you know what?
I really thought tonight was in the bag, but.
And sometimes second half of seasons is what is what you're talking about with your team. And guys, we're going to see these teams again, and we know what we need to do, and it can happen. So, all right, well, for Corey Lang, I'm Brent Martindale here at Sting TV. Final score once again: Spanish Fork 72 in overtime. Spanish Fork 72, Wasatch 70, and. We'll see you next time. We believe we have a home game next Tuesday night again for both the boys and girls. And we'll see you at that time. Thanks for joining us, and keep looking on the Sting TV website for all events going on here at the high school. We thank our sponsors once again. And Corey, great job with your team.
Thank you, Brent.
All right. See you next time on Sting TV.